So this episode was a little bit Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dude Reviews and heavy spoilers for My Hero Academia Season 6 Episode 4, You've Been Warned. The scene with Twice and Dabi was really intense. You can just hear the anger in Dabi's voice, the frustration at Hawks for murdering Twice. But of course he can't cry, his tear ducts were burnt out, and he has this really creepy smile. Twice is obviously really curious to know why Dabi knows his real name. Dabi reveals something to him and the audio is muted out. And judging by Hawks' reaction, this thing that Dabi just told Hawks is kind of huge, telling him that he should have been keeping an eye on him and not putting too much attention on Shigaraki and All For One. He goes on this huge rant about how there are too many fake heroes in the world and how he wanted to have Twice aiding him on his path towards his dream, and that is to carry out Stain's will of taking out all the fakes in the world. I love how certain characters say certain things that tie into other plot developments within the same episode. The line of Dabi telling Hawks that the world can change because of a single obsession of just one person. I love how that sort of relates to the evil Dr. Garaki and his mad scientist ways, him being so obsessed to see All For One's dream and his dream become a reality, him going as far as giving up his own quirk, which is to extend one's life, and giving it to All For One. It's just crazy how one dude's decision completely changed the course of the Hero Society forever, with the expanded life of All For One and him continuing to reign terror throughout the years. And then All For One duplicated that quirk and then gave it to Shigaraki, and well, you know what Shigaraki's like. And speaking of the creepy devil, he seems to be in this weird dreamlike dimension where we see flashes of his family from the past all reaching out to him, and you got the people that truly love Shigaraki the most, his mom, his sister and his grandparents, all trying to pull him back. Then you have his father in front trying to block Shigaraki, symbolizing that his dad in the past was the biggest obstacle in his life. And then you have the previous One For All user. I like how these two characters are sort of framed almost reaching out to one another, showing us that if Nana had just reached out to us on a little bit more when he was growing up, maybe he would have been a bit nicer to Shigaraki and maybe things would not have turned out the way they turned out. Which all goes back to Dabi's quote earlier on in the episode of one person's obsession can change the world forever. How Nana's obsession to be the hero and be the seventh user of One For All led to her abandoning her family, and that caused a huge chain reaction. You got some cool action sequences with Mirko and President Mike giving a sucker punch to Dr. Garaki as payback for what he did to his friend. And of course it ends with Shigaraki rejecting all of his family, him just sort of disintegrating their hands, and him walking forward to All For One. And yeah, Shigaraki has awakened, so things are heating up. The middle section was a little bit slow and a little bit repetitive, things we've already seen and know from the previous episodes, but that's still a pretty entertaining episode. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 and a B+. Tell me what did you think about this episode. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Like for more anime reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching. Boy Dude Reviews, signing out.